Good, yeah.
Very
good,
good, thank you. Very good.
So after doing the film, Made of Stone, do you now feel like honouring Manx?
Yeah, I do a little bit, because Ian Brown sent me a text just before the premiere and said, "Get ready for a proper Manchester welcome," and it was really true. It was really emotional. I felt like, because I'd missed everything when I was a kid, and I think the closest I got to Manchester was I bought a second-hand poncho off someone from Aztec Palace, so that was about as close as I got. And yeah, I mean. It was the most incredible night, the premiere, so yeah, they really took us in. Ian had done a cameo in This Is England, and so I got a phone call from him one morning, and I thought it's going to be, maybe I'm going to get a chance to make a video for him for his solo career, and he said, "Look, I know you're a massive Stone Roses fan, we're getting back together." And before I'd sort of had a chance to fall off the seat in the taxi and go onto the floor and start crying, he then said, "And we want you to make the movie," which was like, I mean, if Carlsberg were giving out jobs to directors, that would be the one for me.
Love that. And being that you such massive fans of the Roses, did you, when you were doing the research for, because obviously there's a lot of really nice footage of them performing live back in the days, interviews and stuff, did you already know what you were looking for, or did you come across loads of extra little gems because you're such fans?
I think we had a fantastic archive producer. That's one of the first, because at that time we didn't really know what we were going to get from the band, how much access. So ultimately, and we'd both seen Senna, so we got the archive producer who did Senna and Marley, called Sam, and she just has this amazing knack of just looking, I mean, not just looking at the obvious BBC, ITV archive places, but like going to people's houses, and some of the best archive is people who were there at the warehouse parties in the 80s, shooting it on their little VHS. So she actually, so it wasn't, I think what's beautiful is it's more of a scrapbook from their friends and family rather than just like from resources that everyone else has seen.
And when we got to the end of the process, we were a bit thin in a couple of areas, and I'd shown John and Ian and the band had basically seen, and I'd said, "Look, there's these areas." Now I'm sort of on a shot for about 2 hours here because I've not got anything else to put with it. And I remember John went to his mum's house and went through, he said she had a pile of photographs that nearly touched the ceiling.
Whoa.
So he went through there. John had, Rennie's wife had collected all these magazines. Ian found all these old photographs of the scooter scene. So the band themselves were actually the ones at the very end with Sam helping us to get those final few little bits of gold. It's not very often one of your heroes asks you to make a documentary about your all-time favourite band that are getting back together after 20 years. It's one of them things where you sort of think, "Oh, I'm the biggest fan in the world, no one else feels like about this band the way that I do," and you realise it was just everybody felt that way. And so it was, having those interviews and having the job to do actually kept me from probably being sick backstage through nerves. And when I come out onto the stage and actually, I walk out with them onto the stage when they get that roar, and I don't think I've ever heard a roar like the one I heard in Warrington. There was only 1,000 people there, but the noise, it was like being in a cathedral or something, and that moment was sort of never to be repeated, really. It was an incredibly special night.
And I think when you're in it, Shane said, "Will you mind filming this?" So I'm stood there, I was with Ian's family on one of the balconies. I think I got about one usable shot because I was just couldn't stop dancing. The camera was just doing that all the time.
Well, I found I want to go home on the news and it was too late, really. But I've just seen about 3 people I know going in who know nothing about music. I'm devastated. It's bittersweet. I'm so close to them, I can't get in. It's not really rock and roll what I do. I'm a deputy head teacher and seeing a girl I work with, and I offered her a permanent job to come in, and she wouldn't swap it. I've offered to give somebody my car, but he's not having it at all. I'm stopping short of my house, but I'm close to offering my house to get in. But at least I'm here, I can say I was close to it.
Did you ever get to stumble across Ian Brown's Adidas collection? Apparently his trainer collection is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, we went to his house, and I went to John's house. I mean, I think rather than the scoops on them, I went to John's house to show John a cut of the film, and I basically got lost because he lives out in the middle of nowhere, and got coming up this really steep hill. This car started wheel spinning because it was icy, started sliding back, and I'm really late as well, so I'm dead stressed. I want to make a good impression. They're making me tea and everything, and so I'm sliding down this hill, and then a horse comes over the hill. The horse slips, falls on its bum, slides down the hill towards the car, and I'm sat in the car just thinking, what a way to die.
That's what you thought.
I've got the film on a laptop on my legs. I've not shown it to John yet, and I'm going to get killed by a horse. The horse went the other way, luckily, and I wound the window down because I was like 500 degrees in there, And I wound the window down, and a goose that was going back to Canada came past the car and did a little poo. It came through the window, hit me in the face, and went all over me top.
What?
So 3 minutes later, I walked into John's covered in bird poo, and I sort of
That's
went...
good luck though. So
Sort
probably
of.
why the film ended up so good.
It's not how you want to turn up, is it, with one of your idols? Hello, I'm Shane. I'm covered in goose poo, and I'll be showing you the film this evening.
Sometimes
So it's time for people to fall in love with you. But it's inevitable.